Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host. This dysfunctional world.
I'm your boy Said, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
Well, let's talk.
What we talking about today?
We talking about ratchetness at its finest.
At its finest?
21 Savage says
Oh,
Nas
21.
is not relevant. Yo, Nas,
Mm.
much love to the album.
The Living Legend?
It was a great album.
It's a dope album.
I appreciate that.
Man,
I appreciate you dropping music on a consistent basis again.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But when somebody calls out a legend for whatever reason and
Mhm.
says that they're not relevant,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about that?
First, I'm kind of mad that wasn't everybody who was listening, who was in on it, because it was a Clubhouse thing, right? That's why I heard of
Take
it,
those
right?
Clubhouses.
Right. Everybody was agreeing with him. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I understand like some of y'all may genuinely feel like that, but I think some of y'all were really, really trying to ride the wave. And y'all feel what I'm saying.
You know, I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that they be riding away.
No.
I think a lot of people.
If you would have heard that conversation, right? Some of them were, like I said, some of them genuinely felt like that, but you can tell who's riding the wave and who not.
Right.
Some of them people who was on that conversation, because you know, in club, it'd be a gang of people.
They do.
So some of them was just riding the wave.
But I'm just gonna say, for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
me and you both, we're not originally from the South,
Right.
so we openly listen to other genres of music,
Yes.
other coastal music.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of Southerners
Mhm.
don't listen to other coastal music. I've heard Southerners tell me,
Mhm.
I don't like Jay-Z.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Because
Yes.
he talks to the raps. I'm like, okay.
I hear that all
And
the
then
time.
then I heard 21 Savage, right? And I
Mhm.
remember when I first heard him, and I was like, I remember a comment that a producer told me. He said, when you write, it sounds like you read it.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to when you just spit, it sound like a freestyle, it sound fluent. It has highs and lows. But when you write and you spit it sound like you reading it. I said, wow. And I heard 21, I'm like, but he sounds monotone. The whole style is monotone. Nothing goes up, no elevation, no nothing. I said, but y'all like that. If that's what y'all like, I've been doing that years ago. Oh, okay. Okay.
I see what you said.
Okay.
But what do I think about it? This is what I think about it, right? When you say relevant, in what way are you speaking of, right? Because in his own words, he said, only reason he's still around is because he has a large following and still making good music. And I would argue that that's what relevancy is in the music business. You know what I'm saying? You have a large following, people who are going to follow you because you're continually making good music, not just because you made a hit song or two, right? And I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying as far as what he said. You know what I'm saying? Large following. So he has a large following and he's still making great music. Well, that's relevancy. The fact that a young person like him is even speaking about him tells you that this guy is still relevant. There's been a lot of artists around who's been out since Nas has been out, who we no longer talk about.
Give us an example.
And much love to them. I ain't trying to degrade them or nothing, right? But it's
No,
a lot of
it's not
them.
great. It's
You know,
it's just an
but
example.
it's a lot of them who made like one hit wonders, what they call one hit wonders, or regional hits.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And they make good money,
Yeah.
more than I got. So I definitely ain't talking about them. But it's like, go ahead, you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you go. Sometimes you gotta pause yourself.
I'm not gonna say Nas is not relevant. Like I said, I love Nas. Nas is one of my favorite rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5, dead or alive. But people's opinions are like this. My loctician says she don't like Jay-Z, right? And she said she never got into his catalog. I said, there's some real dope music out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She said, only reason people listen to Jay-Z because of who his wife is.
Now,
And I said, wow, like, you don't think people listen to Jay-Z because he's Jay-Z?
right.
And then I started to tell her that once you get to a certain level, once you accumulate a certain amount of fans, followers, supporters, it's going to be hard for you to put out trash music ever, and people not gravitate to it.
As far as sales wise, yes, you'll never put out trash music as far as sales.
Because the
you have such a large
only
music.
album that he put out that wasn't that was lackluster was that Kingdom Come, for real.
He got, in my opinion, because I am, you know what I'm saying, I like his music, huge fan of his music. And we talking about Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
He has songs that I don't like.
Oh,
On
yeah.
every album that he put out, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just
Unreasonable Doubt?
no, not Unreasonable Doubt.
Okay.
Or Streets
Okay.
is Watching.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or Blueprint. Or you know what I'm saying? Or but anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. No, but and I'm sure it's kids who feel like that about 21, right? And like you just said earlier, right? A lot of people here in the South don't listen to other coastal music, right?
Right.
I could tell somebody that I think, and this is the actual fact, I think E40 is one of the dopest MCs ever.
Yes.
But do you know, people will argue me on that and be like, how can you listen to that? And I'm like, if you would just listen to the man's music,
You'll see.
you'll see why. I think E40 is one of the dopest artists ever. That's just my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying?
Me and somebody were talking about him the other day.
But it'd be somebody, you know, and it's no knock. It might be, okay, no, I want to give y'all an actual argument that I had. An actual, for real argument. They said, who's your favorite rapper of all time? Right? Of all time.
I hate those arguments.
Right. I said, well, to be honest with you, I got a tie between three. They said, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, right? I said, yeah, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas. They said, okay, cool. They said, well, just pick one if you had to, just for argument's sake. I said, all right, cool. I said, Jay-Z. This person said, man, I can't stand when people say that. Actual argument, y'all, real life. I can't stand when people say that. I said, bro, you just told me to pick from the three, for argument's sake. So I picked Jay-Z. So I said, who's your favorite artist? He said, Lil Wayne. I said, bro, you can't argue Lil Wayne versus Jay-Z as the favorite artist. You can't. I said, first of all, both of them is dope.
You can.
You can't. In my opinion, when one wants to sign to the other one, you can't. That's non-debatable.
But that's not. But
I'm sorry. It's a reason for that.
but
You want to sign to him while he's still rapping. Now, I can understand if Jay-Z was retired. Yes. Jay-Z was still active. Jay-Z was actively rapping when Wayne went to sign to him.
When he was campaigning to be on Rockefeller, he was not still actively rapping. That's when Wayne first jumped out the window with that best rapper alive since the best rapper retired.
No, that's what Wayne was saying.
But I'm just saying.
Nobody, Jay-Z never said he retired. Wayne was saying, you see what I'm saying? And everybody even said that. Even remember, you had the radio DJs talking about that. Wayne was the one who said that. Jay-Z never said he retired.
You're right,
Wayne kept pushing that.
Because even now, when they asked Jay, he said, "I'm not retired. I just don't do music actively."
Exactly.
You're right.
So he never said that, and people just pushed that narrative. And I'm like, no, he never said that. Because how many albums have Jay-Z put out since then? At least 3?
4.
I'm just saying, at least, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, he done put out some more music. So he couldn't be retired. So it's like, but like I said, that was a real actual argument. Like, Buddy blew up on me, bro. I can't stand when people say that. I'm like, wait a minute. You can't stand when somebody have an opinion? Like, I never said Wayne wasn't dope. You just asked me who was my favorite art, you know, and I told you.
I was probably say that before.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you in the South and you say Jay-Z,
You ban.
It's a rap.
Yeah, you blackball.
It's a rap. As if I'm not saying there's no dope artists in the South. I listen to everybody in the South. You name it, I listen to.
Hard that pack.
Absolutely.
Skinny Pimp.
Absolutely. Ballin' G. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Project Pat.
Slim Thug.
Slim Thug.
Zero.
Boss Hog, Outlaws. Zero. Devin the Dude. You know what I'm saying?
Truth.
Trey the Truth. I even listen to Brother Lynch Hung. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Dayton Brothers.
Brother
Dayton.
ain't from the South.
I know, but I'm just naming.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dayton Brothers from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I listen to a gang of music. That's because back in the day
That's what we grew up on, right?
One, that's what we grew up on. Because remember back in the day when you had the box or whatever, you know what I'm saying, music channel you was watching, they played all music. And two, back in the day, my dad was a DJ. He was a DJ.
Okay.
So we grew up listening to everything. You know what I'm saying? Nigga had old crates and shit up under my bed and stuff.
The only music I ain't never got into is old school hip hop.
Man,
KRS-One,
I got into that too.
Big Daddy Kane.
Got into that.
Now, I'm not knocking them,
But
you know,
wait, we done slid off topic too.
but to bring it back around.
Okay.
Um,
My gun was over here too.
21 Savage said that an artist by the name of Nas has fallen off. Or not relevant, I'm sorry.
Not relevant.
Not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue the point, once you make a big enough fan base and continue to put out music, you're relevant. Once you make a
Absolutely.
big enough fan base,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what you put out, they're going to support it. One. Two, as long as it's good, everybody else is going to support it too.
Mhm.
Two. Three, you're putting it out.
Mm-hmm.
You've gotten to a level where anytime you put anything out, it goes worldwide instantly. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a fan, you might get a new one.
And that's how you stay relevant 30-something years later. By constantly putting out new music, because there have been artists who was once mainstream, you know, and they deal ran their course, they didn't lose their deal or nothing. They deal ran their course, they didn't get read up on their deal. And they started doing independent, and we don't hear from them anymore. You see what I'm saying? So for Nas to be doing this on this, and his first album came out, his first album is older than you. His first album, and people still talk about that album.
It was written with a dope
Currently.
album.